Welcome to the Operaverse. This Operaverse is Daniel Hagen's fantasy impromptu, an Operaverse titled The Messiah. It was Daniel Hagen's fantasy that one day he would train himself to become a composer, and now, 30 years later, compared to Mozart or Bach, he thinks of himself as a novice and aspiring composer. But compared to someone who doesn't think of themselves as a composer or musician, they would probably acknowledge that the mountain of works created are often very involved and complex. It's impromptu because Daniel is making it up as they go along when they improvise, but also when they compose, because if you don't make it up, it isn't created and then won't exist. They also improvise when they think about the show or shows conceptually, or when they are in conversation, as well as other situations. You don't have to, but you should think about making your own Operaverse. I encourage you to think about Operaverses as Venn diagrams, in that multiple Operaverses can exist and they can be independent or may include overlap, or they don't have to be independent, and one can be generated by or controlled by the other. An operation is another name for a business. So, you may want to take a break from thinking about Operaverses as creative venues and for a moment think about them as businesses.